Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to my movie review for Pete's Dragon. That's right, I'm talking about the 2016 remake of the 1978 movie Pete's Dragon. Now, first off and everything, let me give you some stuff that's what it's really about. So pretty much you have this boy and this dragon that, pretty much it's like a dog and a man's best friend type of deal where you actually get to have that kind of bonding experience between the dragon and the boy. And I actually like that aspect. And then not only that, but even the 1978 version too, where you actually have Pete's dragon, there's dialogue between the dragon and also the kid, and no one believes that he has a pet dragon or anything like that until they actually see him. Now, in this movie, it's quite the opposite. There's no dialogue between Elliot and the kid, but there's a lot of dialogue between the kid, Pete, and the dragon. But still, I thought this movie was actually pretty good for what it was for a remake. Now, Disney has been knocking out of the park with the Jungle Book, and then you also have Cinderella. So I wanted to see what they can do with the remake for Pete's Dragon. So, anyways, what I liked about this movie was the fact that it had some heart to this movie, some magic to the movie, to the point where you actually care about Pete and his dragon. But it also kind of falls flat at the same time. But I'm going to get to that at a moment. But what I'm going to say about this movie is this: it's very paint by the numbers type of deal, where you actually know it's because the characters are very one dimensional. There's no layers to the characters, which is perfectly normal because this is actually a Disney movie to where you don't want to complicate the characters for the goodness for the kids because they're glued into this thing for 2.5 hours, and you don't want to complicate the characters. But still, it's a very paint by your numbers type of deal. Not only that, but whenever you see Elliot and them, they're actually bonding. But he discovers once this ranger comes into the woods, he winds up going over to her house and everything and trying to discover who he is and what has he been doing for the last 6 years. And and then basically the dragon feels sad. He goes over to Elliot's, and then next thing you know it, there's people hunting him. So basically, there's no really any significance to this movie that much because of the fact that it was a very well drawn movie, but on itself, I wouldn't say this is the best movie or anything like that, but it's actually good enough to actually take your kids out to go and see. But for me personally, as someone that actually grew up with the original one had like a lot of heart. It had some emotional attachment to the dragon, and this one you don't really have that emotional attachment to the dragon at all. And it just feels like their main focus was trying to capture the dragon, and rather than trying to let the dragon be the character and giving him enough screen time, because even whenever you had movies like E.T. and other movies like that, to where you can actually have some type of emotional feeling towards the character, even though E.T. may not be in the movie all the way, at least you would actually have some type of connection with those characters because he's actually mentioned throughout the movie, and therefore you can actually have some emotional attachment to that character. With this one, you don't really have that emotional attachment um, to the dragon at all, to Elliot, and therefore whenever he's busy, whenever you don't see him, and then but see him or anything like that, you're wondering what's he doing, what's going on here, and they replace everything where Pete is being relied on for the whole story. To me, it didn't really work that well, but still overall a good movie to take your kids. But if I had to give this an overall score, I would have to give this a 3 out of 5 for the simple fact that, they tried to do this remake and everything, and it really didn't pan off for me or anything like that. Yes, I laughed at some of the moments that they had with the dragon and, of course, Pete, but still, I didn't really care for that. The CGI looked pretty good for a dragon, and not only that, but I can understand the reason why it looks kind of like a dog in a way because of the fact that you don't want to make it too scary for a kid because of this a Disney-based movie. So therefore, you don't want to have that in there either. But like I said, if you're into this movie, go ahead, take your kids out to see it. You're gonna have a great family time. But for me personally, as someone that doesn't have kids, it wasn't my cup of tea. But still, 3 out of 5 is actually a pretty decent score because of the fact that I liked some of the plot points, I liked some of the characters, but it wasn't as good as I hoped it to be. So, anyways, tell me what you guys think. Did you like Pete's Dragon? What didn't you like about Pete's Dragon? Tell me below right here. And not only that, but give me the thumbs up button. Don't forget, if you love seeing what you see here, please share this around everybody. With all your friends and everything, tell them about my channel. And until next time, bye-bye.